You're listening to Popcorn in Orbit, a podcast for sci-fi lovers of all galaxies, hosted by filmmakers Jeremy Major and Ian P. Causer.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We are eating popcorn in orbit, literally. Well, no, it's more figurative. I'm here with Ian P. Causer. Ian, how you doing?
I'm great, Jay. How are you?
Good. What an exciting week. I mean, we've just had an Oscars ceremony. Not you and I, specifically this year. But that's just fresh, just happened. Did you watch the show? Did you enjoy it?
I did. I watched it 24 hours later because it's on quite late for us on a Sunday night.
Right, I guess it would be, yeah.
Yeah, so I recorded it and then tried to spend the majority of Monday not hearing any of the results.
Right, okay. So and that would be challenging, I'm assuming.
Yes, just turn off all devices.
Yeah.
So that I could then watch it on Monday evening. Loved Adam Sandler. That was my favorite part.
That was your favorite part? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Sandman. And
he's good.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. I thought Conan did a good job. It was nice not having somebody sort of ruthlessly go after people in the opening monologue.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as you said that, I thought Ricky Gervais, who obviously does the Golden Globes rather than the Oscars. I can't believe Conan hasn't done it before.
I know, that is surprising.
Time. Yeah, you'd think he would have been asked before now.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite moments was Ben Stiller climbing up.
Yes, that was good. Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, I thought Conan did great. And, I mean, that's as tough a gig as you get, isn't it, really?
It really is, yeah.
And I just hark back to the Billy Crystal days and the Steve Martin days. How easy they made it look just shows you why they should have Oscars, as we've discussed before. We forgot Billy Crystal. Let's get Billy Crystal an Oscar as well.
He always did those great openings too, where they'd put him in films and various things. And
did you watch the Screen Actors Guild Awards on Netflix?
I didn't, no.
Yeah, see, I watched those, and there's some fun to that as well, which is nice. But the Academy Awards, that's the big night, isn't it? It is. When we celebrate cinema at its greatest.
What we want to do is we want to look back a little bit and try and understand an injustice.
Yeah.
Ian, tell us about this injustice.
There's so few sci-fi movies that have been honoured outside of the technical categories that it's actually quite galling when you think about it. The Shape of Water is the first sci-fi film to ever win Best Picture. And that was
that's crazy.
A few short years ago.
It really was.
And then it was followed up by Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yes. It was only the second time that a sci-fi film has won Best Picture.
Yeah. So
we wanted to not just to complain about the Academy, but to try and understand.
To not just complain.
Well, okay, yeah. We don't want to complain about the Academy.
Right, okay.
Because these things are so subjective.
Yeah.
But we do want to try to understand why great sci-fi has been ignored upon its release.
Right.
And possibly explore, is this because great sci-fi has to be ahead of its time? Therefore, it can't win in its day.
I think it's an interesting question. I mean, we have to remember, too, that this is voted on by a group of people, not some faceless entity. These are working filmmakers who are the deciding factor in this. So what is it, what's sort of the common consciousness around not choosing these films?
It's like there's a blind spot, I think. So, for instance, all the technical awards usually go to sci-fi. We even saw it with Dune Part 2. When an Academy voter is watching a science fiction film, they're blown away by the effects.
Right.
They're blown away by the technical expertise, the practical and the digital effects. And yet they don't seem to give any credit to the writer, the director, or the performers.
Right.
It's like the effects in some way it becomes effects movies.
Yes.
Whereas I'd argue that the performances in films like Blade Runner are just as good as any performance in a drama that year.
Yeah.
And the direction and the writing actually can show more imagination than it does in more traditional genres.
Yeah, and that's partly why we're so drawn to this genre, is because it's so imaginative. These are the ideas behind so many of these films are what make them so exciting. It makes you think of life in a different way.
Yeah. I do wonder if popularity hurts them as well.
Popularity hurts them.
Yeah, I do, because Jaws was nominated for Best Picture but didn't win.
Right.
Raiders of the Lost Ark was nominated for Best Picture and didn't win.
Right.
And
Star Wars
was nominated for Best Picture and didn't win. And I do wonder if partly, if they're super successful at the box office, there's this almost kind of snobbishness. The public can't possibly know what makes a great film. Those are movies.
Gotcha.
And I just think that's nonsense.
Well, one thing I feel like has been happening over the last couple of years, and this could be purely in my own head, is I don't know if it's a shift or just sort of a bit of a highlighting on kind of more independent films at the Oscars, more artistic films.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I love that about it. But yeah, what tends to happen is the more mainstream or studio films get a little more neglected as a result.
I'm not a fan of the movie Maverick.
Right. Okay.
So I don't want this to seem like it's coming from a subjective I love Top Gun position.
Gotcha.
But Maverick pretty much kept Hollywood going during the pandemic in terms of its box office.
Yeah.
And the fact it was ignored by the Academy that year in such special circumstances, I didn't particularly like that. I thought Maverick should have got some love. I think Tom Cruise should have got some love, to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
We're independent filmmakers, so of course I agree with you on the fact that it's wonderful the Academy are looking at this stuff.
Yes.
But I think the Oscar ceremony is for the people as much as it is for film.
Right.
The billion people that tune in around the world, without passing any judgment on the big winner in the Academy Awards. I do wonder how much of the audience watching at home has even seen or heard of it.
Yes.
And how much that might affect the enjoyment of the people watching the ceremony across the globe. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Fantastic. You should give it to what you think is the best picture. But I don't think popularity, box office, particularly if it's good, should harm its chances when it comes to picking up the big awards.
Yes.
I just, Blade Runner wasn't nominated, and then 30 odd years later, 2049 comes out, which is another masterpiece, and they didn't even correct it by nominating 2049. So there's not even like a learning here that, I'd be slightly embarrassed that we didn't nominate Blade Runner. They've made a sequel. It's really good. Yeah. Should we nominate the sequel to at least make up for the fact? No, because it took a lot of money at the box office. Harrison Ford's in it. We can't possibly do that. Ryan Gosling's in it. It's too popular. Unless, of course, you stick him in a musical. Right. Stick him in a musical, tap dancing with LA in the background, we'll throw Oscars at it. But if you put him in Blade Runner 2049 with an incredible story and prescient themes, we'll just give it the technical awards.
Obviously, a little bias coming out there.
Yeah, because I was in 2049. How is it bias? How is it bias? I don't understand how it's bias.
I personally liked La La Land better than Blade Runner.
Did you really?
Yeah.
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 There is no getting away from the fact that the Academy has particular genres it favours.
It does.
Drama being the number one.
Yes.
Now, I had a film school professor who told me genre isn't a genre. Of course it's a genre.
What did he mean?
Or what he meant was that is a film, if it's drama. Western is a genre. Comedy is a genre. Sci-fi is a genre. They're genre movies.
Okay.
You must have heard that when somebody uses the term genre movies in a slightly snobbish way, looking down at... But I've always argued they're all genre movies. It's just you happen to prefer drama as a genre.
So drama is like the default. It's sort of the baseline, and everything else is a genre?
Yeah, I think so.
That's an interesting interpretation.
Yeah, and when you look at the Academy's history, it does tend to favour that viewpoint, perhaps.
I want to test your knowledge.
Okay.
On some of this. I've got a quiz here for you. And then we can talk about, some of the real upsets.
Yeah.
In the past. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So let's do it. We'll do a few warm-ups here. Alfonso Cuarón became the first director to win an Oscar for a sci-fi film. Which movie was it?
Gravity?
Yes. How many Oscars did Dune 2021 win, as opposed to David Lynch's Dune way back?
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you some options?
Yeah.
Was it 4, 6, 8, or 3?
I would think 3 or 4 for the technical. Maybe 4.
6.
6, really?
2001: A Space Odyssey won only one Oscar.
Yeah.
For which category? Was it Best Picture, Best Director,
Nope.
Best Visual Effects, or Best Cinematography?
I would think visual effects.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which film was nominated for Best Picture but lost to Annie Hall?
Star Wars.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
I should say I haven't seen Annie Hall, so I probably shouldn't
Valid.
have any comment whatsoever.
Valid. Okay.
But I look forward to seeing it because it's obviously better than Star Wars.
Okay, which sci-fi movie won 4 Oscars, including Best Visual Effects and Best Editing? Was it Inception, The Matrix, The Fifth Element, or Avatar?
Avatar won some.
Yeah, now it might have won those, but it's not the one it's not the answer to this particular
Inception?
question. The Matrix.
The Matrix.
Matrix won all 4 awards that it was nominated for.
And it wasn't nominated for Best Film.
No.
Or Best Directors. No.
Yeah, it always kind of perplexes me how some of those things are split up. Like you can get Best Director, Best Writing, but then not Best Film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things like that. There's always some weird scenarios, and it feels like they're just trying to spread out the love in some
I
areas,
always
but
wondered
not in others.
Because this happened. I remember when Argo won. Did Argo win? But Ben didn't win Best Director.
Yeah.
That's really odd because if
I know.
I think most of us would agree film is the director's medium.
It just sort of magically became really good.
Yeah. we
Unrelated
think
to
it's
the
the
director.
best film of the year.
Yeah.
And you just got lucky, Ben.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it's peculiar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Which sci-fi film holds the record for the most Oscar nominations for a sci-fi film with 13?
13.
Was it Inception, Avatar, Shape of Water, or Star Wars?
Avatar.
No. Shape of Water.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Shape of Water was the first to win Best Picture.
It was a big year for Shape of Water.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. All right, let's get a little more obscure here. Yeah, let's
Okay.
get a little more obscure. Okay. Which sci-fi film received the most Oscar nominations without winning a single award? This goes back. Was it Close Encounters, The Martian, Gattaca, 12 Monkeys?
Maybe Close Encounters.
Gattaca.
Gattaca, really?
Yeah. Who was the first actor nominated for an Academy Award for a role in a sci-fi film? Was it Sigourney Weaver, Harrison Ford, Jeff Bridges, Joaquin Phoenix?
Well, Harrison wasn't nominated, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Was Charlton Heston not nominated for Planet of the Apes? I always assumed he would have got a nomination for that. The question is, was Sigourney?
He was not. No.
No. I'm going to go Sigourney. I don't know.
You are
though.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alien, the first Alien.
According to this, Aliens.
Okay.
With an S. So,
That's probably more of a best, because the first one would have probably been supporting actress actually, because it was such a true
that could
ensemble.
be. Yeah.
Whereas Aliens, she's leading the franchise all on her own by that point.
Yeah. Which sci-fi film won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay? Was it Inception, Her, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, or Brazil?
Her?
That is correct. Okay, here's a good one for you. True or false? Minority Report won an Oscar for visual effects.
Oh. I'm going to say false.
That is correct. You did quite well on that challenge.
I just guessed that was one of the years that the Lord of the Rings films
That's right.
swept up.
Two Towers, I think it was. Yeah.
Which is fantasy, of course, not sci-fi, which is why we're not including Lord of the Rings.
Right. So what would you say is this is not the quiz, there's no wrong answer here.
Okay.
What would you say is your biggest upset if you look back in time?
For best film specifically.
Yeah, let's talk about best film.
Yeah, okay. Probably Shakespeare in Love.
Really?
Yeah. What year would say?
So no, there's nothing to do with sci-fi. You're just, one just really upset you.
I wouldn't say it really upset me, but I was shocked.
You were shocked.
That was the biggest shock for me was Shakespeare in Love, because it was the year Saving Private Ryan was nominated, and Saving Private Ryan is, I think, he's the greatest war movie ever made, and arguably one of the greatest films ever made.
Yeah.
Thin Red Line was also up for it, and I remember thinking, if Saving Private Ryan's got any sort of competition, it's from Thin Red Line, which is also a war movie.
Right.
And you do wonder if maybe that split the vote, the two great war movies.
I see. Yeah,
and
good
Shakespeare
point.
in Love kind of came up on the inside and took it.
I enjoyed Shakespeare in Love, but you can't deny the sort of respect that one has to give to Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, it's astonishing to me that didn't win. But again, all of this is subjective. We're having fun. It's all subjective. So to me, it's inconceivable that anybody would vote for anything but Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
In that year.
The one thing we never have a sense of is the number of votes.
Yeah. It's only very recently that we've jumped to 10 nominations for Best Picture. Traditionally, it's only always been, I think, five or six maybe. So the shocks seem bigger.
Yeah.
Back then, because when you've only got 5 nominees. So, for instance, the nominees are Shakespeare in Love, Elizabeth, Life is Beautiful, Saving Private Ryan, and A Thin Red Line.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Then I think Elizabeth was better than Shakespeare in Love as well, personally.
Yeah, even that's a notable film.
You know, you sit down, it's fun at the Oscars, you want to pick your winners and you kind of put them in a little bit of an order.
Yeah.
And Shakespeare in Love was bottom for me. That's not happening.
Yeah.
And that's why I was most shocked, I guess. For instance, the year before Titanic won, right?
Yes, yeah.
No shock.
No shock. No,
no
that's
shock
right.
that Titanic wins.
Yeah, that just made sense. You know, just to talk about directors for a second, you know, just talking about Spielberg and the number of times he's been nominated and hasn't won, it's like, it's sad, really. I mean,
Okay, let's have a look at 1996. The nominations for Best Picture were, let's see if you can pick it, Babe, The Postman, Sense and Sensibility, Apollo 13,
yeah,
Braveheart.
Braveheart, yeah.
And I would say now, if we voted now, okay, so say they did like a revisionist. This would be quite cool, actually. You couldn't change the nominees, but we revise it after 20 years and go, don't take the Oscars off them, but what would you vote for now?
Yeah.
I'd argue Apollo 13 wins Best Picture upon review.
Not Babe.
Upon booth review. But that's the one about the pig, right?
Just joking. It is a great movie. No, that's a really great question because you're right. It is a bit like a fine wine. Like, you know, some of these films do get better with age. And the real question is like, what stands the test of time, right?
That's the key, Jay. What stands the test of time? And that's what defines greatness more than the awards that are given in any given year, is how it's viewed.
Yes.
In 20 years' time. Does it stand up? Which is why I can't wait to see Annie Hall.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars kind of died on the vine. Nobody really remembers that. But Annie Hall.
What's that one again?
Yeah. All right, I'm being naughty. But
no, I know.
I'm looking at the 90s because this is when I was a kid and I was really into it and really kind of... I remember I used to write down all my predictions, almost like you're predicting like March Madness or the playoffs.
Okay,
yeah. And I remember this year is 1995. The Best Picture nominees for 1995 were Four Weddings and a Funeral, Pulp Fiction, Quiz Show, Shawshank Redemption, and Forrest Gump.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I'd have a problem with 3 of those winning it.
Yes.
You know? Forrest Gump won it. I do wonder if there's a revote now with the Shawshank might take it, or would it go to Tarantino with Pulp Fiction?
That's a really tough question. I know back when we owned the theater, we had a lot of requests for Shawshank.
Yeah. It kind of found a life on VHS, didn't it?
Yeah, it took some time, but it's kind of considered a classic now.
Yeah.
It's interesting because over the past few years, you know, having more time together as a family and that, we would show our kids, we were literally watching a movie every day for a long period of time. And I think we went through like 100 and some odd movies before life sort of got back to normal. But it was interesting because we dipped back into some of the older films from the 80s and whatnot. And it was a bit of a like test to see what held up, what the kids would actually enjoy, right? Yeah. And not everything does hold up. I think for kids today, can be a little tricky to watch a movie from the 80s, but I think our kids have been exposed to enough of that's sort of not necessarily an issue. But there is a real difference even in the sort of storytelling style that I became aware of. There's a different pace to those films. Sometimes there are films that just don't, by today's standards, have much story or complexity. Like we're so used to complications in our stories now that not everything had back then. And so, this is a really interesting question, is to see what kind of stands the test of time. And so many of the films that you've just identified, like Forrest Gump, that was one we watched, and it holds up.
Yeah. It's the filmmaker, isn't it? That's what it comes back to all the time. There is the greats make great movies.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be surprised by that, really, should we? I suppose. No. But the greats make great movies that stand the test of time.
But how many of those films kind of pushed a boundary in some way? Even Braveheart was a really intense film. Like it went to places that no other film really had.
Yeah.
In the way it depicted that era.
As did Mel Gibson's accent.
Yeah, he really pushes the boundary.
I mean, I've never heard an accent like that.
Oh, an accent. Oh, I thought you were saying a title of a film. Okay. All right.
He pushed this guy's accent to places it had never been either.
Yeah.
Listen to this from 1994, Jay. This is fascinating. Best Picture nominees: In the Name of the Father, The Piano, The Remains of the Day, Schindler's List, and one more does not fit. And it's my favorite, The Fugitive. I mean, if you're Arnold Kopelson, the producer of The Fugitive, and you're going that year, and you've got Schindler's List, The Piano, The Remains of the Day, and In the Name of the Father up against you, do you even turn up? And I love The Fugitive, but that is very specifically what I would call a movie, as opposed to Schindler's List, which is a film.
Yes.
And Schindler's List quite rightly wins. You said something a little earlier, which I think is worthy of further exploration.
Really? There was something worthy of that?
Yeah. And that is, does winning a couple of statues preclude you from winning more? When you were saying about Spielberg.
Yeah.
Does it hurt him that he's won a couple and he's nominated again, and we can't possibly give it to Steven again? Do you think that comes into play?
It is possible, sure.
Yeah.
We all enter into the process with some sort of bias, and I think people generally have this sentiment that they want to sort of be fair or spread the love. Spread the love, yeah. Here's something I'm curious to hear from you as a Brit. Is where do the BAFTAs stand? Is that a big night for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, the country stops. We all get dressed up.
I don't know if I think you're being facetious right now.
I am, yes. Sorry. How many nominations do you think John Williams has had?
A lot. A couple dozen?
54.
Oh my gosh.
How many do you think he's won?
1?
5.
I should know that. I just watched the documentary.
Okay. But my point is that's worse than 1 in 11.
For the greatest composer of all time.
Yeah, for the greatest composer. So they give him the nod. Mm-hmm. Well done, John. They give him the invitation. But if you're John Williams, you must be turning up going, there's no point. Why am I here? I've not won 49 times. Can you imagine being nominated for an Oscar, having to go to 49 ceremonies and not win? Yeah.
I think you would just reach a point where you just appreciate the nomination.
John Williams is a far nicer person than I am, and that's exactly how he would be. Because John Williams is just a lovely, lovely, lovely guy, by all accounts. And I've seen the documentary as well, and he just comes across as an absolute mensch of a man.
He does.
But 49 defeats.
Yeah.
He's 5-49. That gets you fired in the NFL. That's Cleveland Browns level bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
so what did he lose for? Tell me about some of the scores he didn't win for.
You want me to name 49 films?
I want to know all of them.
Okay. Well, he won for...
Yeah, okay.
He actually, this is interesting, he's the second most nominated person ever. Who would you think was the first?
Ooh. Like a director or what?
Walt Disney. I don't know what you call him.
Walt Disney, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah. He had 59.
Holy cow.
He won. So John won 4 Oscars for Best Original Score. He won for Jaws, Star Wars, E.T., and Schindler's List, and won for Best Scoring, Adaptation and Original Song Score, which was Fiddler on the Roof. But I'd imagine, so Superman, Empire Strikes Back, E.T., Angela's Ashes, Munich, Indiana Jones, Book Thief, Harry Potter,
so many.
JFK.
Wow.
Yeah. Home Alone. You just go on and on and on, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not highlighting that. I'm trying to be funny about it. But my point is, do the people who are voting for Best Composer go, we can't just give him that. We can't just give him that every year.
Yeah.
I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they'll rename it the John Williams Award, won't they? Or something.
Which they may someday.
And I'm not sure I like that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it just be almost a blind vote? Forget the name, listen to the score, which is the best, give the Oscar. And if John Williams ends up with 38 Oscars, he ends up with 38 Oscars.
Yeah. See, now you're getting into a place where maybe we shouldn't even be judging films in this way.
No.
How are we even making it a competition?
I know. Well, yeah. I mean, the art is the award in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like the gold statue, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But that does fascinate me, is that like Robert De Niro's got 2 wins. I think it's 9 nominations.
Yeah. 2
wins. It's interesting. I remember talking to somebody about this, years ago at a festival. And I've always, this is a story about how great I am, which is never a good thing to do. But I'd won an award for best script.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm talking, and somebody else whose script made the final was talking to me about, was just congratulating me.
Yes.
You know, it's just, he was a very nice guy. And I just said, look, it doesn't mean nothing.
Right.
It's nice. I'm glad I won, but you didn't lose, buddy. And the reason is I love sport, and I played a lot when I was younger. When you win the 100 meters, you've won the 100 meters. That's objective, right?
Yeah.
When you win a game of rugby or whatever, it's objective. You've won.
Yes.
But in art, it's so subjective that it can't be best actor, can it? Really?
No. And yet we love to kind of place this.
Yeah, we like to try and order it.
Yeah.
It
and
can't be
even
best
we do it. Our top 10 list and whatever else.
Well, that's why we use the word favorites, not best.
Yeah, right.
Because it is tricky.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help thinking that if I was ever lucky enough to win a Best Actor Oscar and Robert De Niro is nominated, I can't help but think that for the rest of my life I'd go, well, they just didn't give it to Bobby D because he's got 3. Do you know what I mean? I'm not actually sitting there going, I was better than De Niro that year.
But there's 3 other people that didn't get it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'm trying to say about like the composers. Yes. If you win in one of the 49 years that John Williams didn't, there's not part of you somewhere going, was I really better than Johnny Williams? Do you know what I mean? You almost don't want to be nominated with a great like that, do you?
Yeah, really.
I would think you just like...
Yeah, that would be tough.
If you're a female actor and you're nominated alongside Meryl Streep, one of the years Meryl's, you're like, oh, geez, why couldn't she have taken last year off? This is my chance.
I know. Yeah.
So I think everybody knows Blade Runner is universally regarded as so far ahead of its time, it wasn't appreciated in its day.
Yes.
So the question becomes, is it even possible for great sci-fi then to win in its day?
Yeah.
Because it does need that period of time and hindsight for people to realize its brilliance years later.
That's the question.
I wonder if that is part of it with science fiction.
It has to steep.
Yeah. I've had people say, oh, no, they're snobbish about it. I don't necessarily believe that, because a film like Children of Men, that's a proper film.
Oh, yeah.
Arrival's a real film.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe for one second they're going, oh, I don't like that because it's sci-fi.
Yeah.
I don't think it's because it's missing chops.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes time before we realize just how relevant some of these films are.
Or is there something in the fact that, oh, this is very deep, this film, I need to vote for this. Even though I preferred that, I'm going to vote for this because this is the deep.
That's what I mean. I think there's a bit of a sort of should feeling.
Yeah,
I should vote for. Yeah, the real film. Yeah, and I think this is worth noting that there is a lot of lobbying from studios and distributors as to what films kind of get on that list or get sort of out in front of people. So, to what degree do we have them to hold accountable?
Yeah.
What is it about their process that they're maybe not pushing the sci-fi film as much as the drama?
Yeah.
As a distributor or studio, you're going to put forward you're going to play your best card. You're going to play the films to the Academy that you think have the greatest chance of winning. Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But we've talked at length on previous podcasts about the depth of Interstellar.
Yes.
Interstellar was nominated for Best Original Score, Hans Zimmer. It's a brilliant score.
Yeah.
Best Production Design.
Yeah.
Unsurprising. Best Sound Editing. Unsurprising. Sound Mixing. And Visual Effects.
Right.
No nomination for Nolan.
Yeah.
No nomination for the screenplay. No nomination for Best Picture. No nomination for any of the acting from McConaughey, Annie Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Michael Caine.
It's crazy.
I think that's insane.
I'm
not knocking. I don't want to knock anything that was nominated that year.
Know.
Whereas Inception was nominated for Best Picture. And Inception is probably a more visually stunning film.
Right.
If you think about all the wire work and than Interstellar, which is, we've seen those similar images before.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yet the depth of Interstellar outweighs Inception, and it doesn't get nominated.
Yeah.
And we talked a couple of weeks ago about getting Oscars for comedians like Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, and Tina Fey, and I absolutely agree with that. The research I've done is I've always known that sci-fi has been kind of ignored by the Academy. Yeah. But the more I've delved into it for this podcast, I didn't realize quite how much sci-fi has been ignored. So yeah, if there is a petition going, I shall sign it.
Let's get that going.
Yeah.
And distribute it.
So friends and family. Yeah.
Friends and family. Yeah. My mom will sign it.
Yeah. And mine.
I think. If it's on paper, as long as it's not digital and I have to explain to her how to do it.
Right. Yeah. Not a DocuSign thing.
Not a DocuSign. All right. On that note, Ian, maybe no true resolution to this, but it's a worthy discussion, and always a pleasure to talk about these things with you.
Oh, and you, Jay.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for Popcorn, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Take care.
Popcorn in Orbit is produced by the Shooting Eye and Ice River Pictures.